That's one of the best podcasts ever. Ever. Top 5 dead or alive.
Welcome to Pod Caviar. I'm your host, Tony, in the Game Caviar Studio, the Empire of Caviar Studios. Sorry, I had some audio differences. It's like, because I'm using this mic, sometimes the audio will lag. So it was like this real weird, not even a second delay in the audio that was coming through my headphones and what I was hearing. So let's see. This is so weird. Let me take the headphones off. Fuck that. Yeah. All right. Anyway, I can check my voice and everything right here on the screen. It's all good. I got my, my MacBook Air. We're good. Okay. It's been a while. I know. But the thing about dealing with mental health issues is that some days you just don't want to do anything, and that stretches for indefinite amounts of time. But I'm back, and we're going to talk about aliens today. Boom. Here's the thing. We've always known UFOs existed. The government has always denied it. Then they're like, oh no, we were lying. Duh. We already know this. There's a difference between UFOs that are secret space planes or just aircraft that can't be identified. It is an unidentified flying object. So if you say UFO, we could be talking about some not super space, but like when the F-22 was being developed, that's considered a UFO because it was a secret plane. It was flown around and did all this fancy shit that people couldn't even imagine seeing back then, let alone seeing it in real life. So that qualified as a UFO, right? Right. Cool. We're all on the same page. There are the UFOs that are aliens. My theory is that aliens are a lot closer than we think. I think that some of them live underwater. I think that some of them live in our solar system. Some of them live right outside of our solar system. Some of them might live in the area in between Earth and Mars. But here's my thing. If they have technology, it's got to be a wormhole or faster than light travel. When scientists say stuff like this star is 18 light years away, 18 million light years away, they're saying that when you travel by the speed of light, then it will still take you 18 million years to get there. And since I'm on the computer right now, let me pull up my Google. How fast is the speed of light? Here we go. Ooh, what is that? That is 186,000 miles per second. That's the speed of light. If we see stars in the galaxy that are even 18 light years away, that means you have to be going 186,000 miles per second for 18 years before you reach whatever that is. Either these aliens know how to use wormholes, either they're going faster than light. Or they're a lot closer than what we think. It's my theory that they're a lot closer than we think. They have technology that can that can shut down radars. They have technology that can disarm nukes, supposedly, allegedly. I've personally have seen things that look real alien-ish when I was in the military. That nothing that I worked on, but just looking up in the sky, you see some things. I remember one night we saw like 3 different dots, and they were flying fast as hell. This was before drones. This was before, and then this was at night, so it wasn't like a blimp. It wasn't a drone. It wasn't a bag. It was something. It was 3 dots that were chasing each other. They were kind of dog fighting, but they didn't make sound, and they were making weird maneuvers that I've never seen before. Of course, you just chalk it up as a UFO. You don't question it. I don't give a shit. I've always believed that aliens existed. I just needed to wrap my mind around the size of the universe as it is right now. They could have wormholes that they could use that would immediately crunch space and then make point A and point B just a simple walk across the street by comparison, right? So you hear the lovely sounds of LA outside. I should open a window. Hold on, I'm gonna open a window. That's the best thing about this podcast is that we're loose. We do things. We're vibing. All right. No radio signals. We can't pick them up. The video that we see with aliens is always some grittiness. It's always something nasty. It's always something weird. We never really saw real footage. There was that show that Fox aired back in like the 90s, I think, that was supposed to be a UFO, autopsy. That was weird. There's that guy who supposedly worked in Area 51. I want to believe this guy, but it's like, why? Why do you feel the need to speak? And I can't remember his name. Graham knows him. Graham is like a fan of him. I don't know whether he's like a deep, hard following of this man, but hold on. Former Area 51 employee. Bob Lazar. That's the guy. So Bob Lazar goes around and he talks about all this shit about how he worked in Area 51. He saw all this cool shit, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. And, you know, he's got some evidence that kind of corroborates that he worked for the government at one time, and maybe he worked at Area 51. Area 51 is the super secret base in Las Vegas, right outside of Vegas. It's near Vegas. It's out there in the middle of nowhere. I mean, it's great. His stories sound okay, but as somebody who has worked for the government, I got to tell you right now, some of the shit that he's saying has been sensationalized beyond fucking belief. I don't care whether you're a janitor working at the Pentagon or whether you're in Area 51 and you're working on the most top secret project that the government has right now. It's not that cool. Okay. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to tell you what my job is, but it's cool. But he makes it seem like what he did was like, it seemed like it was Hollywood. I'm not calling the guy a liar. I never met the guy before in my life. But I just get the vibe that he's not telling a clear picture of what he did when he worked for the government. I think there's a lot of sensationalism. See, sensationalism? Is that a word? Sensationalize. I know sensationalized is. They say he's churching it up. You know, he's putting some seasoning on it, and that's fine because he's got a book. He's got shit that he has to push, and he's got bills to pay. So, okay, cool. But getting back to aliens and how would they go through and how would they get from point A to point B? It's just advanced technology. I know that we just looked at the speed of light. So speed of light would work if they're in this solar system, the Milky Way, where we're at, from Mercury to Pluto. Okay? That's our solar system. I don't believe these aliens are coming from outside of our solar system because it would just take too long. You cannot until they have been shown to have the technology to do it, we are stuck in the box of physics. We cannot look past it. I guess it's a human thing. Of course, if you defy the laws of physics, everybody's going to immediately want to know how, because that's like our basic building blocks of what makes us our reality, right? So if I'm telling you that 18 light years is 18 years traveling at the speed of light, if aliens took 18 years to get from their planet to here, they're not coming here just to say hi. First of all, they're hauling ass, and then they're hauling ass for 18 years. So now you got a spacecraft that can do it. What is your what? And you know what? And I'll give aliens the propulsion. I'll just give it to them, because if you're an alien, you got some sort of weird ass propulsion. There's a report that the government is about to put out in like a month or so. I think it's down to a couple weeks. I think it's coming out in June. It's May now. It's May 18th right now. But in June, I think the government is really going to push out the report on UFOs, and then we'll be able to dig through it. So they're probably going to be a part 2 about this, maybe a part 3, part 4. I might just do a series on it, really dive deep and get to the bottom of a lot of things. And I'll bring Graham into it as well. We've been doing the shout out to the One Gram Army podcast. We've been doing the Zoom podcast, and they've been really well. So if you haven't subscribed to the One Gram Army podcast or Pod Caviar, the pandy is almost over, so you can't use that as an excuse to hide from us. We will look for you. We're coming to find you, and you will subscribe, or else. But yeah, I'll bring Graham back in. We'll sit down. We'll look through it. We'll dig into it. We'll get to the bottom of it, and then we'll tell you. As it stands right now, I'm telling you, they're either in our solar system or they're like right outside of our solar system. Now, there hasn't been too many spacecraft that have gone interstellar past our solar system. There's Voyager that's going to come back and try to destroy us. Star Trek told us that. There might be some more. But look, man, if you look up in the sky or you go to NASA, you see all the pictures that they've taken. That looks good. They look great. NASA has found a lot of things in space. I promise you they have. Okay? But at this point, with all the technology that we have in the skies and on Earth, all the satellites that are constantly searching for life, another theory of mine, and I've said this before, is that they are hiding in plain sight. Not like they live, but more so of we're not looking at this frequency. We're not looking at this. We're trying to find them like we're trying to find our keys and we're late for work. You feel me? We're trying to take our human knowledge and our way of thinking and put it out there on an intergalactic scale, and we're missing it. We're missing them. We're missing that spark that says, yes, here's what they do. Here's how they talk. Here's how they communicate. Here's how they're able to travel so fast. Maybe it's a wormhole. Maybe they are 18 light years just hauling ass through space. It's got to be some sort of portal. We've seen this in video games. Mass Effect was a really good way of they had a really good way of showing that what future technology could look like in a way that's like, okay, I could see that happening. If you go back and play Mass Effect 2. This is the best Mass Effect. Not 3, not 1, 2, not Andromeda. Don't play Andromeda. Play Mass Effect 2. And that'll give you everything you need to know. They just remade Mass Effect, the whole series, so you can go get it and play them all if you want to. But I'm the guy that says Hollywood movies, video games, and all that. These are spoon feeding us the reality that we live in. You could tie that or compare that to religion and spirituality, where religion is a stepping stone to spirituality. It's just our way of thinking as humans. We just can't accept vast amounts of information that goes against everything that we've been taught our whole entire lives. We're not really good at stepping outside of our human thinking, our human brains, to see that maybe we were just wrong, or this is what we were supposed to do. It happens on Earth when scientists will find some new shit and be like, aha. But we need a bigger aha. What is the best way that you can shape somebody's mind without forcibly making them think what you want them to think? Well, movies. They do the same thing on TV with politics. You can always find some politics. It doesn't matter whether it's Fox News, MSNBC, CNN. They all will push their narrative, their rhetoric. Take that same technique and then put it in movies. Put it in sci-fi movies. Put it in Star Trek. Put it in Battle of LA. Put it in Mass Effect video games. Put it in another movie, Independence Day. Will Smith knows. You think I'm lying, but when shit hits the fan, he's gonna fucking show up and he's gonna save the day like he did in the movies. I'm telling you, this is real. Okay? All right? We've been down this rabbit hole many a times. I'm telling you this right now. Aliens are either right outside of our solar system, or they're hiding in our solar system. How many planets have we orbited around? Have we really looked under every rock in our solar system? They could be hiding on, Jupiter. I mean, we don't know. The report is coming out next month, and I'm going to dive into it. I'm going to dig deep into it. I'm going to see what it is. Maybe I'm just full of shit. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe space is not that great. Maybe they are alien civilizations that really just aren't shit. Maybe there's vast alien civilization. I knew one thing. They said that the Navy had saw a UFO that was going fast enough to break the sound barrier, but they did not produce a sonic boom. Anybody here's the thing. Once you start going fast, there's pressure in the front, and there's like a cone that builds up, and then once you break through that, then you've broken the sound barrier. That sonic boom is the aircraft breaking through that barrier, the sound barrier. That's where you get a sonic boom. What I explained earlier that I saw when I was in the military, the 3 dots that were in the sky, they were fast. They were really fast. They didn't produce a sound. They damn sure didn't break the sound barrier. If they did, it didn't produce a sonic boom. This was at like 11 o'clock at night, so it wasn't us. We didn't break the sound barrier at night. We couldn't. It was against the rules. And then if it was a plane, then why didn't we hear like afterburners? Why didn't we hear any sort of thrust? There would have been some sort of sound. So I'm with that report that said that they saw a UFO that traveled fast enough to break the sound barrier but did not produce a sonic boom. I'm with that. I get that. Maybe aliens know. Maybe they have some sort of teleportation that works on Earth where they don't need to have I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how you go from how you break the sound barrier but you don't produce a sonic boom, even if you, I don't know. It's got to be in a report somehow. Maybe. Let me see. Let's hit up Google because we only had 18 minutes, so we got like time. Let's see. Break sound barrier without sonic boom. Here we go. Government the first look. Go to Google right now and put in break sound barrier without sonic boom. The very first article, the link that pops up, March 22nd, 2021. Government reports say UFOs broke sound barrier without producing a sonic boom. Let's see what Popular Mechanics has to say about this. Popular Mechanics isn't, I mean, they kind of know. Oh, they got pictures of it. Ex-intelligence director confirms Navy and Air Force pilots have seen difficult to explain, hard to replicate objects. Ooh. This is Unpopular Mechanics. Oh yeah, they call it unidentified aerial phenomenon now because the government is so cool with their stupid acronyms. Blah, 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 blah. Friday reports include seeing sightings of objects that frankly engage in actions that are difficult to explain. Well, that sums it up. Air Force, Navy and Navy and Air Force pilots and satellite imagery have spotted the UAP. This is crazy, bruh. Traveling at speeds that exceed the sound barrier without a sonic boom. In short, things that we are observing that are difficult to explain. Like I said, when an aircraft increases its speed, the pressure waves build up on it and it's eventually coalesce into a single shock wave. When the plane outruns that shock wave and travels faster than the speed of sound in air, it causes a sudden change in pressure, which then in turn creates the sonic boom. I sound like I cannot read, but I'm telling you I can. There's no publicly available scientific data to suggest any aircraft can break the sound barrier without producing a sonic boom. While engineers can take steps to try to reduce sonic booms, physics says it's impossible to outright eliminate it. I said this earlier. We are stuck in the box of physics, and we cannot explain why these aircraft have been seen by naval pilots, Top Gun, Mav and Goose, Air Force pilots, and probably Mav and Goose and Air Force too. That's how I joined the Air Force. And satellite imagery. I mean, to us, physics says that when an aircraft increases its speed, pressure waves build up on it and eventually coalesce into a single shock wave. When the plane outruns that shock wave and travels faster than the speed of sound in air, it causes a sudden change in pressure, which in turn creates the sonic boom. So why are we seeing aircraft that break the sound barrier but don't produce a sonic boom? How can engineers not explain that? It says they could take steps to reduce the sonic boom, but you cannot eliminate the sonic boom as a human. These aliens can do it. So what are we trying to explain here? Are we explaining how they did it? Are we explaining why they did it? Are we trying to learn how to do it? Is the government just full of shit? Maybe. Who knows? It goes on to say, this article in Popular Mechanics, we always look for a plausible explanation. You know, weather can cause disturbances, visual disturbances. Sometimes we wonder whether or not our adversaries have technologies that are a little bit further down the road than we thought or that we realized. But there are instances where we don't have good explanations for some of the things that we've seen. That's alien. That's alien. What other country is going to have technology like that? Is China? Fuck no. Russia? Fuck no. Who else? Maybe Israel? Maybe the UK? Maybe Japan? You can't. You can probably say no. Because at the end of the day, we're all humans. And we're all trapped inside of the box called physics. Nobody can explain that. Let's see what else it says. It says, the former director of intelligence's remarks may foreshadow a major report the Pentagon is set to release in the coming months. Indeed, 2021 promises to be one of the most significant years ever for the advancement of UFO disclosure. Sounds like it's going to be a lot of, I don't know what the fuck it was, bro. I mean, it was going fast, hauling ass. It didn't break the sound barrier. It kept going. Yeah, I don't know. I don't fucking know. I can't explain that shit. It happened. It follows a year in which the U.S. Navy officially released 3 videos that show UFOs are genuine. No shit. We already knew that, bro. We already knew that. There's an unidentified aerial phenomena task force. I'd love to be on that task force because what are they? That's the X-Files. Like, what are you talking about, bro? I'm just reading, skimming through it right now. After its shuttering. This says that Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force, the UAPTF, is the most... UAPTF, open up. We got a warrant. You got some aliens in here? Is the first official government program affiliated with UFO research since a 2000s era unit that analyzed unmanned aerial vehicles and other UAP lost its funding in 2012, even though multiple sources confirmed with Popular Mechanics that the unit remained active in secrecy after its shuttering. It's kind of weird. What was funding them? The DoD formed the UAPTF to improve its understanding of and gain insight into the nature and origins of UAPs. Pentagon spokesman Sue Go told Popular Mechanics at the time, the mission of the task force is to detect, analyze, and catalog UAPs that could potentially pose a threat to U.S. national security. Wow. Listen, if they go fast enough to break the sound barrier and they don't produce a sonic boom, we're fucked. There's no way in hell, because how fast are they going to go? Are they going the speed of light? I figure if aliens wanted to come take us out, they could just easily do it. I don't get it. What do we have? Our strongest thing is nukes. Either it's going to be nukes or biological. If they breathe our air and get our germs, then they might not have the technology or the natural means to fight off these bugs. So if you see an alien and it looks mean, sneeze on it. And then punch it in its fucking nose. You might save humanity. You never know. In June 2020's Intelligence Authorization Act, the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence, SSCI, authorized appropriations for fiscal year 2021 for the UAPTF and supported its efforts to reveal any links that UAP have to adversarial foreign governments and the threat they pose to U.S. military assets and installations, blah, blah, blah. War is so played out. Who goes to war anymore? There's too much to lose. It remains concerned, and it says the IAA, the Select Committee on Intelligence, said that it remains concerned that there is no unified, comprehensive process within the federal government for collecting and analyzing intelligence on UAP, despite the potential threat. And so it's directed the task force. This is America in a nutshell. You know, I don't know what it is, but get our guns ready, because if we have to shoot it, we're going to kill it. Basically. They're not trying to find out. I mean, I get it. I see what they're saying, and I understand the mission, but America, it seems like the U.S. government is going about this the wrong way. We're trying to protect peace by preparing for war against something that we don't know what it is. And when that report hits, I'm going to dive into it. I'm going to get back on here. Let's bring Graham, the 1 Gram Army. We could do companion shows. We can make it into a series, but that is coming soon. But right now, I want to thank you for listening to this episode. We had 28 minutes. I want you to go to shirtcaviar.com right now after this and go look at the art. If you want to buy something, use code OGA for 10% off your order, and subscribe to Pod Caviar. Subscribe to GC Live on YouTube. Subscribe to Game Caviar on YouTube. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do with that. I have OBS, and we can do some streaming on that like we did before. So I think I'm going to do that and just keep the gaming on GC Live. Subscribe to the 1 Gram Army podcast, wherever you get. That's available wherever you get podcasts from. And of course, Pod Caviar is the most widely available podcast in the world. So aliens, if you're out there and you hear this, Graham and I are going to get to the bottom of it. Okay? Because we get to the bottom of the lies, even the interstellar ones. Thank you for listening to Pod Caviar. I'm your host, Tony, and I'm out. Peace.